What do you say we
Man,
jump into? We're kind of booking it today. I'm into it. Why don't we jump into the last article?
main event, main event.
Yeah, this one's old. This is
Yeah,
kind of an old one. We didn't get a
exactly.
chance to really cover,
It's an old one, but you
but
know what? You know what's going
I
on right
think it
now,
matters
Mike?
a lot.
Worldwide event called the
Ooh,
Olympics.
Olympics. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Worldwide event going on right now. Guess what, dude? Games, particularly video games, are coming to the Olympics. So let's talk about it. Yeah, again, this article's a couple weeks old, but it's still relevant, baby. Let's get it. So it's official. The International Olympic Committee votes to confirm that the first Olympic Esports Games will happen in 2025, even if they don't know the games yet. Everything about the event is yet to be decided, including the games, but it is happening. So it's good to hear.
Silly.
This is coming from PC Gamer. Rich Stanton over at PC Gamer wrote this. So recently, the International Olympic Committee joined up with the National Olympic Committee of Saudi Arabia to announce the first ever Olympic Esports Games set to be held in 2025. Now it's been made official following a unanimous vote in favor by the IOC's executive board, a bit like the meme where Obama's giving himself a medal. There you go. Just give you a nice little mental image of that.
Mm-hmm.
The Olympic Esports Games are planned for an initial run of 12 years, with events held regularly. And IOC President Thomas Bach says this shows the IOC keeping up with the pace of digital revolution. He goes on to say that the NOC of Saudi Arabia will bring great, if not unique, experience to the field of esports for this project. This partnership is based on the Olympic Charter and the Olympic values, more on which shortly. The IOC has been testing the waters with esports since 2018, last year hosting the Esports Week in Singapore, albeit without any actual esports. The IOC Esports Commission was then directed to devise how an Olympic Esports Games could serve the interest of the esports community while respecting the Olympic values and the promotion of gender equality and engagement with the young audience. The latter may raise some eyebrows given the heavy Saudi involvement. And that's
Yep.
like a whole
I
other
was thinking
political
that.
thing. It's a whole other
Yeah,
political
let's
thing
not
right
go
there.
into that.
Oh,
Let's not
man.
get into that.
So HRH, the Prince, and all these names. Do I even
Yeah,
try, Mike?
it's
Like, do I even
basically
try? Like,
yeah, they're royal Saudi family
I just
basically
I like Turkai.
members.
Turkai. I like that name. Please don't come after me. So the Saudi Minister of Sport and President of their Olympic Committee said, thanks to Vision 2030 introduced by His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia, esports in Saudi Arabia already has a rich past, an exciting present, and a promising future. Together, we all share the prospect of instilling the Olympic values in new and innovative ways. For his part, Mohammed bin Salman doesn't care if people look at this and think Saudi Arabia is sports washing, an appalling human rights record, and gets just political stuff, Mike. So what else do we say?
Yeah, I mean, even though it's political, it's true.
I
They
mean, yeah,
are
definitely, yeah.
100% sports washing, and they have been for the
Yeah,
better part of like 8 years. I think they've really
they've
been
been guilty
pushing.
of it, sure.
Yeah, oh
It's,
yeah, oh yeah.
yeah, for sure. So I obviously remember the Prince Rima Bandar Al Saad says bin Salman's Vision 2023 or 2030 plan has delivered a wave of more than 150 reforms that have transformed society, empowering both women and youth. The IOC release goes on to trumpet the growth of women's sports in Saudi Arabia since 2015. It measures such as equal pay. This thing, like, dude, get into the quality of it, dude. It's getting crazy.
Yeah,
It's yeah, I don't know. It's like it's one of those. Like, I certainly don't like. I just know it's bad over there. I don't obviously have much context. I haven't kept up with it a lot. So I mean, who knows? Maybe this is a way to kind of bridge that gap more. Maybe this is the start of something. Hopefully. So confirmation of an Olympic Esports Games means work now begins on selecting a host city and venue for the event, the dates and the games to be included, and the qualification process. The IOC will also create a new structure within itself responsible for running the Olympic Esports Games, which will remain distinct from the Olympic Games themselves in both financial and organization. So be a little separated, but still kind of Olympics. So it'll be cool to see though. Like, if this goes without a hitch, dude, this could be very entertaining. Just saying. Like, to see like Olympic involvement in esports in general.
yeah. I think this is kind of the future of gaming, regardless of what people might think. There's a lot of sports and activities and hobbies that ended up making it to the Olympic stage and become an Olympic sport. I know there was a lot of issues with like skateboarding and snowboarding in particular because
Yeah.
they were more viewed as like extreme sports or
Yeah.
whatever they called it. Like how there was the X Games, then the
Yeah.
Olympics was never there. But
Right.
then they've like slowly but surely been adding more and more activities. And the truth of the matter is as long as there's a talented player pool or of people competitors that has a wide audience, it's gonna end up on the Olympics eventually.
Yeah. It's true. It's
I
true.
think that's just what it is. It's just interesting too because having an Olympic Esports Games is kind of odd. Because it's like a game. Like you wouldn't see checkers or chess in the Olympics. I don't think.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
think. Yeah, but isn't darts in the Olympics?
I mean, I
Maybe.
don't know, like the shooting in the Olympics,
I
there's archery. I mean, darts is pretty
yeah. I
close. I
mean
mean,
yeah.
you
So
know,
it's just a different medium to compete, and as long as it's fair and balanced, I think it could be really successful. The fact that it's being led by Saudi Arabia, there's a lot of political connotations we can like get into.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, no doubt.
I it's definitely sports washing. I think
Yeah,
you can't really argue against that. They've been doing this with soccer or football, depending on where you're from, and that's just that's what they've been trying to do. They've been adding more like
yeah,
Formula One races out there. Uh, it's weird. It's just really weird. Like it's weird from a Western point of view. I
right.
think,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah,
like the cultures are so completely different, but
it's
at
true.
the same
Yeah,
time, it's like they're trying to like turn the representation around a little bit, and it has a lot to do with His Royal Highness making these types of decisions of
mm.
being very conscientious. Is that the right way? Whatever.
Conscientious. Yeah,
Yeah, about like how they are perceived around the world.
right. Yeah,
Now, for an
that's yeah.
incredibly long time, it's been very, very negative, at least in the Western part of the world. So to see this go on, uh, is it's like for I don't know about for like gaming, I think it's kind of cool to see
Yeah,
that this is happening, that it's actually going to become an Olympic game. But at the same time, it's like, could we have used any other country like that doesn't have these human rights
does does
violations?
anyone else want to chip in? It's like
Yeah, I
anybody.
mean, anybody else. It's weird, man. It's really weird because like there are things going on around the world right now when it comes to esports that I find very interesting that we can kind of talk about is like Korea, like South Korea in particular, they're giving out scholarships to kids just for being good at like StarCraft or Dota. That's like
Yeah,
wild to see.
yeah. I mean,
Um
even U.S.
and,
universities. I mean, there's some doing
yeah,
esports stuff. So yeah,
there's a lot of cool stuff going on in Europe with Counter-Strike and Valorant about like how there's academies for people to get out of like their particular environment because they're good at video games.
right. Yeah.
It's it's like really cool to see. It's like another outlet for people. Very fascinating to see it develop because dude, 10 years ago this was all unheard of.
Yeah,
That's how
for
like
sure.
quick this is happening. So,
Yeah,
let's
it's wild, man.
let me get your prediction, man. What do you think would be the game that they would put at the Olympic
Yeah,
Esports?
dude. That was the question I was gonna ask you, dude. I think there could be a lot of different choices. I know for me, like seeing a game, I think for me seeing a game like Rocket League would make sense for me personally. Like if I were to see something like, I think it's easy to understand for anybody. Like
Yeah.
it's literally just soccer with cars.
It's a
So
it's a
like
very nice like viewing experience, yeah.
exactly. It's like even if you don't understand like the overall skill involved, it's still just super entertaining to see someone do like a flip reset and score a goal like halfway across court. It's like stuff like that is just you see that and you're just like, I don't know what just happened, but that was sick. And so it's like I don't know. I feel like that would be easily viewable. Yeah, so like that. I mean, but if we're going FPS route, I mean, I think like Counter Strike's kind of a gimme. Like if you're gonna have like some
Yeah,
shooter like that, granted the kind of visual, I mean, there may not be as big of an audience to watch something like that, but it's just one of those like classic
really big
FPS
worldwide though.
shooters. Like it's one
It's
of it.
also very easy
Yeah,
to understand as well. That's
yeah,
the thing.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like there's two bombs, 5v5. Like that's and it's kind of just someone's trying to plant, someone's not, and just seeing kind of the different skill levels of that would be interesting. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know, dude. What do you think? Do you think we see Overwatch there? I mean, I feel like Overwatch is a game that I don't know. I mean, they have the Overwatch League, but I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna be a shooter, actually.
Yeah. So do you
Uh,
like? Well, how many games do you think overall? Do you think it's gonna be one game, or do you think it's gonna be like kind of different? Like there'd be a tournament for one game, a tournament for another kind of thing.
I think a very interesting thing to do. They probably won't do this, but to have like they used to have this in the 90s, I think, or early 2000s. There was an ultimate gaming competition where you had to be good at multiple games.
Yeah, like a world
Um,
championship kind of thing,
yeah, like a
like
world
Nintendo World
championship game.
Championship.
Yeah, something like that. I could see that being an option. Uh, I don't know, man, because the gaming industry is always evolving. There's always going to be a new game to like grab everybody's attention in like a month or so. Like, who knows what Marathon could be?
Right.
I know
Yeah.
it's supposed to be like an extraction shooter, but what if they have a multiplayer option?
Yeah.
What if Splitgate comes out and it's actually
Splitgate
like
2,
Splitgate
dude.
2? It comes out and apparently captivates an entire generation of new gamers, and that becomes the main thing.
Yeah.
You know,
It's true.
like if this was maybe 2018 and this was announced, and maybe the Olympics were happening 2 years from 2018, like 2020, or Fortnite would be unequivocally the number one choice, I
Yeah.
think.
That's weird.
But
Yeah.
now, yeah, you got to think about it on a global scale. What amount of countries could field an all Counter Strike team or an all Valorant
Right.
team
Yeah.
and be highly competitive and driven to make that happen? Because
Yeah.
I
It's true.
think like I don't think any console shooter would make it. I don't even think any console game in general would make it because consoles are really only sold in three different regions, like North America, um, yeah, North America, Europe, and like Japan. It's pretty much like the only real areas where people buy consoles. Everybody else has PCs. Now
Yeah.
that like I'm obviously exaggerating a little bit, but that's kind of my mindset.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can see StarCraft, Dota. Overwatch did have the Overwatch League where they did kind of a national based team system where they competed, but
Yeah.
Overwatch isn't popular anymore.
That's true.
So what's the play?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. I mean, I think like so if I'm looking at like a medal perspective, like if I'm doing like single person medals, like I think a
Ooh,
battle
yeah.
royale would make the most sense.
Mm,
The only thing is like you're gonna have multiple people from the same country. Obviously, you're not gonna have 100 different countries representing for a game. I wouldn't think.
yeah, I
So
mean
yeah,
that's what you have now as it is. Like in
yeah,
swimming, you don't have one single person from one country.
right,
Like you
yeah.
get
It's
multiple
like yeah,
people.
exactly, multiple people.
Is
Yeah, that's true. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, it's like I mean, it would be that. I mean, you do like squads and stuff too. I mean, I think like a 4 person, like a four man team based kind of thing would make the most sense. I think.
It would, yeah.
Yeah,
Four or
dude.
five, I think five, six maximum.
Yeah,
Anything more than that, it's out of control.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
like
yeah,
rowing does six. Is
yeah.
rowing in the Olympics? I
Yeah,
think so,
it
right?
is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they always have big teams. But yeah, it's like stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I think there's many routes you could take, many different games you could do. Like, I mean, but it's like one of those things. There's so many games. I think. I mean, the biggest challenge would probably be filling out countries for certain games. Um, but I
Yeah.
mean, but I mean, yeah, there's so many different options you could take. So I mean, I'd be curious to see what their approach would be. If it's just gonna be like, it would feel weird if it was just one game and that was it. But
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
agree.
It's like,
It
yeah,
it's got to be multiple games, and it's gotta hit.
yeah. And
That's the thing.
it's got to be a good diversity too, right? Like it can't just all be shooters. It can't just all be MOBAs. Like, I don't think it could just all be like battle royales or whatever. Like, I think you have to have a good variety of different games. I mean, like, dude, like fighting games would go crazy. Like, just throw up like a Street Fighter or like a Super Smash or something. Like, I feel like that would be awesome too. It's like just
You know.
being meddled in like a fighting game would be sick.
Okay. Let me. Okay. Yeah. I'm looking at a list of the most popular games from across the web. All
Oh,
right.
okay.
And it gave me an idea the moment I saw this. So there are a couple of things. I think we are on the right track. There should be at least one battle royale, whether that's Fortnite, PUBG. I wouldn't put Call of Duty. Call of Duty isn't really popular worldwide.
I mean,
Like
Warzone's more popular than PUBG though. PUBG is like, I would be very shocked if that was a
your
game.
PUBG has more players than like Warzone by like 2x because PUBG Mobile exists.
Oh, I'm not counting
And
mobile. I'm talking about like
I mean,
desktop.
I kind of am, dude.
I mean,
They
like
do
mobile
like
games, sure.
million.
Like, look, There could be mobile
That's
games at the Olympics. I'm not denying that. Like there certainly could be.
Yeah.
But
So that's what I'm trying to say is like you could probably have PUBG Mobile. That would be insanely popular. Tetris. You could do Tetris would be a
Tetris would be kind
really
of
good
sick.
one.
Yeah, that'd be
Would be
sick.
really high level
I mean, dude,
Tetris.
like a lot of people know Tetris, like worldwide.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think I don't maybe Apex. Apex would be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, because
As long as the game's a good
I would
shape.
I would enjoy seeing Apex, but yeah, it's
Yeah. But speed running, any game.
Oh yeah, like okay,
Like
okay.
that's
Branching
a
out, I like
different
that.
because now you're like some Olympic sports are not direct like
Yeah,
competitions
like head to
between
head,
you and
right?
somebody
Yeah,
else.
yeah. It's you
It's
versus
like a
yourself.
lot of yeah, that's really
Um,
what it is. There's like a lot of like golf is kind of like that. You're not really competing against other people. You're competing against yourself and
yeah,
against the game itself. Like the
yeah,
weather conditions and you want to do better than you've ever been.
right. I mean, it's like
That's like
if you're like doing
it's
like
interesting.
any like some of like the track and field stuff, like whether it's like shot put or hammer throw or discus, like
Yeah.
stuff like that is like you're competing against yourself ultimately. Obviously, there's other people competing, but like you have like a set number of tries, right? And so you're trying to do better each time, and so it's like, and then if you're like Mike, it's like your monitors blind you. It's like,
Did you see how bright that was on my
yeah.
face?
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying for sure.
could you speed run Minecraft?
Yeah, you can speed run in game, like beating the dragon and
Yeah.
everything. You do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
because that's
there's-
apparently the most popular game.
Um,
Minecraft, Roblox, Fortnite. And
Yeah.
the next ones are Counter Strike, League of Legends.
Dude,
League of Legends, I think would actually
it would go crazy. Very
that
popular
would be a
game.
good one.
Dude, if I saw a Roblox game at the Olympics, dude, I'm glued to the TV. I'm sorry, like I'm watching, dude. It would be so quirky and
hard.
funny, dude. I'd be watching that. Oh man,
You know what they're gonna
there's
do,
no
though?
way that's gonna happen, but yeah.
You know what they're gonna do from like a perspective to make people interested in watching because it's relatable and understanding is any sport game. So
Oh yeah.
NBA, EA Sports,
I mean, yeah. There's
and NHL,
probably gonna be
NFL, they'll
2K,
do
yeah.
those.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll
2K,
do all
yeah,
those because
Madden.
it's like everybody already knows those games.
Yeah.
Or like how to play those games, FIFA or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, the next real Olympics is gonna have flag football, so it's like, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
already there.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Ultimate Frisbee? Do they have that?
oh,
I'd be into
dude, yeah. I don't know if they have ultimate frisbee actually. You know another one, dude? They don't have bowling. Think about that. That's kind of wild.
If they don't have darts, then like if they don't have bowling, then they don't have darts, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. They should put Bart like that. That's a good bar game.
Let's say darts.
Like, dude, what about pool, man? I want to see billiards. Like, where's that at? That'd be so sick to watch at the Olympics. Oh, dude.
Oh, they're gonna add darts.
Oh, really?
They're working
I mean,
to add darts.
Super
Yeah.
competitive. So yeah, makes sense to me. But yeah, dude, there's so many like little things that I've like just now thinking about. It's like that'd be sick to see at the Olympics, but I don't know.
Interesting.
It's wild, dude. This whole gaming thing though can go so many different directions. So I'm intrigued to see what they actually come
Same.
up with. Because yeah, I mean, there's so many different niches and avenues and so many ways to appeal to so many different audiences. So,
Yeah.
just they have
Yeah,
to get right.
it's very interesting. It's gonna matter a lot what games they choose.
I think so too.
Or yeah.
I mean, it's gonna
We'll
make or
find
break.
out.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about games too. It's like, I mean, the beauty of the Olympics, right? It's like it's human versus human. It's like kind of just like, I mean, obviously there's some factors out of your control, but like with games, it's like there are so many factors that could be out of your control, especially a competitive shooter. Like if you go with a shooter,
Yes,
it's
dude.
like, oh, it's dicey. I don't know.
What if people start like there's always gonna be cheaters in every kind of sport, right?
Yeah.
People dope all the time.
Like, yeah, like what's the doping in the gaming world?
Yeah.
Oh man.
We're gonna have like word.exe, whatever
Show
that
up.
was.
Yep.
Jeez,
Yep.
show up on stream, back ban for gold.
Yeah, backman on live. Oh, dude.
Oh my god,
Crazy.
that'd be insane.
Oh man. Dude,
Yeah,
I have so
but
many
dude-
questions, and I'm just so. I just want to see this. I want to see what they do. So,
Same. It's just gonna be interesting to see how it all develops. I'm excited. I think it's really cool from like a competitive standpoint. I love competitive games and I love
Yeah.
watching esports in general.
Yeah.
So this is cool. I just kind of wish it was a different country that wasn't as controversial, as bipartisan,
Facts.
I guess, or like
Facts.
yeah, divisive is probably the correct way to say it. But yeah,
It's
man.
true, dude. It's true. I agree.